What do you reckon?
Our audio fucking... Well, one of these was... Mate, these are also a ball ache if you don't know how to use it.
Is it?
Yeah, they're meant to be really good, but... Well, they are when you know how to use them, but... Fuck me, mate. Getting them set up was a nightmare.
I find they're bare... or like, I've got a microphone, but like just like one you have on your desktop.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And that one is like well sensitive.
Yeah, some of these are really set. Like, yeah, I'm going to try not to shout as much as well, because we're only...
Swearing.
Yeah, no, to be fair, I'm not bothered about swearing. Like, swearing is it's a podcast, you know. I'm not going to censor people, you know. It's
No, but just don't say the semen either.
I don't think I said that last time.
I don't know if that's even going to come up. I don't know how that would even come up in conversation.
Yeah. Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Damn. Yeah, we're rolling, yeah? Sweet. Sweet. Yeah, this is like, it's part of our thing now, I think. We just...
Are we?
Yeah, we just roll straight through, man. We just roll straight through. Right, people... That's a fucking loud clap. Right, yes, people, this is episode 4? Episode 4 of the Househeads podcast. We have a cool guy on today. He's an artwork guy. He does pretty much anything creative. If you have a vision in your head of what you want something to do, you speak to this guy. Bing, bang, boom, couple of back and forths, and yeah, he comes back. Right, we've got Archie Riddle Design. How are we, mate? Give me some skin, mate. Give me some skin, bruv. Right, so Arch, just tell me as much about yourself as you can, what you do. Go off, mate.
I'll give you a little bit of insight. So, what I do is, you put the nail on the head there, really. It is anything to do kind of in the creative field. I don't really confine myself to, you know, just one avenue, artwork, for example.
Yeah.
If there's a vision that I feel that I can create with a skill set that I've got, you know, we'll go and tackle it. And that's the fun part about what I get to do.
Yeah.
But what people usually know me for is more so the poster guy, the rave artwork guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about me.
Mate, that's sick. So like, how do you get into something like that? How do you realise, right, this is what I want to do, you know, this is my place in the scene?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting niche to be a part of, and something that I didn't necessarily see myself falling into in this part of my life. I think I've always wanted to be a graphic designer, you know, and that was the kind of starting point for me. And then taking a flashback to COVID, for example, I was working as a digital marketer, so that was a graphic design role, you know, or in the sense it touched on graphics, but it wasn't the full kind of, you know, graphic design elements that I wanted. And I got furloughed, and then during that time I was kind of debating, you know, obviously COVID is hopefully going to end. So when I do, you know, get back to partying, I'd love to work for a record label, either doing digital marketing or ideally just completely graphic design related. And then I dove into job searching, graphic design wise, nothing. No one would take me. So what I decided to do was go freelance. And just put out there what I thought was something that was, you know, needed within the industry. You know, I didn't really think there's people that do graphic design in the house music niche. And I refer loads of people onto them because some people are better than me at what I do in terms of like illustration or whatever. But yeah, it's wicked to be a part, I think, of that niche, and to, you know, kind of just have fallen into it, really. Yeah,
it's cool, man. I like, obviously we got you on today. Look, we like what you do, and yeah, it's like, how do you even, when you're younger, you know, where did that first passion for graphic design come from?
Oh, honestly, that's a good question.
Because it's such a new thing, like it's not something that maybe they're pushing on people in schools or stuff like that. It's a new thing, you know. So
I think it just kind of naturally, I kind of just was drawn to it. But literally, this is the story of how it happened. So I've always been like a bit of a nerd on the computer. I love like video gaming and stuff like that.
That's where it all started.
Yeah.
That's where the love comes from.
There was this game actually. It was called Little Big Planet. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I know that one.
And like, I just loved that game because you could go in that little sandbox world and you'd learn like what each element does, and then you'd be able to make stuff yourself like within that little world. And I think personally that's where like it kind of sparked my creativity. So a lot of people, like, this is a bit of a side tangent, but you know, parents are like, oh, video game is a waste of time and that. I think personally, like, because I was gaming in that way and being creative, they allowed me to kind of like do what I do now in Photoshop, learn it, you know, and then use what I've learned to kind of just get creative. And originally we were playing Minecraft, like me and my mates, and that was like a, you know, another creative game. So we're I'm like 11, 13 years old, and we were like trying to make a server on Minecraft, like on PC. And it was, you know, you had to do this like coding on like DNS, like you had to open up your Wi-Fi setting and all this stuff. And I was just like baffled because I was watching on YouTube how to do it, and then the tutorial was just naff. And I was like, what on earth? So I spent hours doing it, finally pieced together all this knowledge that was online, done my own server. And I was like, that was so difficult that I'm gonna make it like a tutorial myself and streamline it. Did that. And then I put it out, it got like 100k views. Like, because it's obviously just like, I was able to just decipher all this like content that was out there that was a bit like jumbled and put it into a streamlined tutorial.
That's sick.
And then I needed to make like thumbnails, so I started doing other tutorials and stuff, how to like make this style of work that I just basically was taking other people's tutorials and streamlining it, you know, putting this knowledge out there and doing it like that. And then because I needed to make thumbnails, I needed to learn how to do Photoshop like more proficiently. And then that is how it, you know, stemmed from. And then once I had that, went into school, got immersed in like magazine creation and stuff in media. And they were like, oh, you're pretty decent at this, like more than, you know, like the person next to me, because they haven't just like done Photoshop or whatever before. So that for me is like my kind of journey from, you know, as a kid to now. That's
interesting, man. That's fun. That's good. That's cool. Damn, I don't know what to say now. That's fucking so sick. I'm jealous, man. I'm so jealous because it's such a like a fun creative. I know it may not work is work, but I know that's such a fun creative thing to do, man. Like, it's
definitely.
Right, let's get on to this. So, if for anyone that didn't know, obviously Archie was the guy that designed the Househeads logo, pretty much sort of held my hand through the process of where we wanted to go with it. And obviously, it is sort of a back and forth thing. And it's like, I was quite shocked, me personally, at the time that we actually spent it just discussing it. Like, even when you can flick back up our WhatsApp and it's like lots and lots of back and forth. Like, why do you think it's so important to really dive deep into that? You know, you do your research sessions, and why is that so important to you?
I think from experience, like, some people just come to me and they're like, we've got this idea, just like, you know, do it. And it isn't that easy.
Which was me.
It's a lot of people, I think. And the reason that I do these like research sessions is because I think if you go in with no questions asked, there is no way of really knowing what you're going to get. So the research session is there to ask questions so that we can gain clarity over like what's actually going to come out in that creative stage. If we just kind of like, you know, it's a gamble. That is literally essentially what it is. If you don't ask questions, the right questions, to bring forward like, you know, what it, you know, why we are doing certain things for, you know, the reasoning behind it, what else is out there, then it's just a gamble, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was definitely a process, you know, and obviously it's nice now to see it 4D to life, you know. So yeah, no, it's good. But yeah, man. Right. So talk to me a little bit about, obviously you work with some big labels, yeah. So you can introduce yourself to tell the people who you work with.
So I work with, like, honestly, it's like a pinch myself moment really, because like I remember being like going to like Solid Grooves is like one of the clients that I work with in terms of their releases, and I remember being in Printworks at their party in like, I think it was either 2019, 2018, something like this, like earlier time of like raving, and like I remember just standing on the dance floor just thinking like, this is mega, like this is like, you know, a big party,
the top end, and
I just thought I'd love to work for these in some way, in some aspect, you know, however that is in the future. You know, just a passing thought, you know, nothing really, you know, coming into it. And then I was at 93 Feet East for another party. I can't remember what it was. Might be EastEnders or something like that. And I was standing front left, you know, in the dance floor. I'm up on this like little ledge bit, like it's a box that you can elevate yourself on the crowd.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And I remember looking across the crowd, and I just see like, I was just like, oh, the energy here is like immaculate, you know, it's just like crazy. And there was a videographer or photographer just stand there in the middle, like, you know, just doing his thing. And I just thought, like, what is going on here? Like, we're all here having a good time. Like, he's there having a wicked time. He's part of the team. He's, you know, behind the booth. He's doing his thing. He's getting creative, and so is like the people in the booth. You know, obviously putting on the party. And I just thought, like, that was the moment for me where I realised, like, I've got to be a part of this in some way.
At the process.
Yeah.
It's crazy because there's so much that goes in behind it that you, even for us, like when we first started this, obviously we always knew like the passion was there for music, you know, but it's everything that goes in behind it, you know, like the makings of a good party. It's everything. It's the videographer. It's the setup. It's all of this stuff that goes behind it, you know. And it's like, it's even the the poster before. You got the pre-lead up. You got this. You got the selling the tickets. It's like it's such a it's a stressful time, isn't it? It can be a stressful time, but I think when you say it like that and you see people and you're like, wow, that man's working there. He's enjoying. He's in the scene. He's like he's living and breathing it right now, and he's making it happen. It's like it's brilliant. I like it, man. I like it's nice for us to talk to people. Like, obviously we speak to a lot of DJs and producers, everything else, but it's nice to speak to another side of that, you know, and the more creative and technical side of it, really, because it is, you know, it's technical stuff. And so we're like, how long would you say that process has taken, like, to get where you are now? You know, were you saying about...
I've been doing this 4 years now.
4 years, people. It's not long. That's not long at all.
No,
like, and you can be there. You could be working with some big labels, and even just, you know, you've gone about it in the right way, and for that to happen like organically. We say this. I hate that word, organically, but it's so true. You know,
it is. The main way that I get work is primarily just word of mouth.
Yeah.
And like I did when I first started off, like I reached out to people, you know, just put like on a generic message, like, this is my service, here's some of my work. And 90% of their messages that I sent out, you know, didn't hit back.
Yeah.
The only way that I've actually got work is doing good work, and then people have just like seen it, want to work with me, or they've just referred me on to people that are also starting up a brand or already doing their thing and they want a new look. So yeah, it is organic. I don't think there's another word for it.
Such a cringy word, isn't it? Organic. I hate it, but I love it. It's true. It's true. Right. What next? What should we go into next, my friend? Right. So let's have a little chat about Slinky Creative, which is another avenue that you're going down eventually. So can you give us any sort of tea on that? Because I know it's not officially released yet, and I know it's not being pushed at the moment, but obviously it's something that's in the works.
Yeah.
And something that could be of value to people and potentially DJs and producers watching this, you know, because, to go on further from that, now it's never been more important for social media and to have an online presence as such. So can you give us any insight into what that will be?
Yeah, definitely. I think in terms of like where I'm at with the planning of Slinky Creative, it's like I basically want to offer what I'm already offering now, but with the extension of employing other people that are just better at what their craft is than me. It also means that more people are involved, you know, faster turnaround ideally, because it's not just, you know, me having to do absolutely everything. And I'll be integrated into the process of like still doing some design, but more so like hands off, and it would be kind of creating a creative project, you know, with other people kind of doing it for me, and then we'll still work through the ideas, you know, as we do within like the creative research session and how we've arrived here. But there might be, for example, an artwork that's more like retro, super cartoony. Like that for me is like kryptonite, you know. I can't do it. So there's like always someone that's better than me out there, and I would love to just be able to deliver to the industry and the rave scene the best marketing possible. So I still want to be, you know, involved, but I understand there is people out there that are better than me at what I can do. So
sometimes you have to delegate, mate. Sometimes you do, you know, and it's sometimes you have to realise, you're you're not as good as what you thought you are, and you need help. You know, this is the thing. It's like I've been lucky. You know, Freya's a photographer and a videographer. So we're getting there. You know, we're growing together, and it's nice that we've been able to do that. You know, and not. Because I could imagine if someone did have to, like, obviously we do a few parties and whatnot, and if I had to pay a videographer every time, it massively, like, it reduces what we can do, you know. Like, obviously we're building ourselves up at the moment, you know. But if you have to pay a videographer every time, and then you have to pay someone to do the artwork, and it's like it can get a lot for new events starting out. It can get to a lot of money before you're actually looking at even just breaking even, you know, to throw a good party. Right, let me just ask you this, because we've been struggling a little bit recently with just like switching off. So obviously your like workload and stuff, like how do you say, right, that's enough? Because I like...
Perfectionism is what you're talking about.
Yeah, just in general, you know, like just being able to switch off and just go, right, that's it, my day's my... Because you work for...
happy with what you've got up to.
Yeah, like, because obviously you work for yourself, you know, so it's like...
Yeah, I think most of the time, like, I will push for my... Like, if I'm not happy with the work, like, at the end of the day, that's going out of my portfolio, you know, so I want to be invested in it. But, like, there begins to be a time where, like, if I send it over to my client and my client goes, yeah, that's good, like, we love it. It's like, you know, you kind of... I will happily put forward, like, oh yeah, we can do that. I would love to do this and, you know, make it, you know, this kind of look. If they push back and they're like, nah, like, it's all good, mate. Like, we just want to get this out. Then, you know, it is what it is. I think that I've learned to not just like be a perfectionist in the way that it doesn't matter about what the client thinks. It's only like, you know, my perfectionism. I just take that on board, you know, and remember that, you know, even though it's the work that we're creating, that I'm creating, it doesn't need to be perfect. Yeah.
It needs to be perfect for someone, but not... Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, as long as I'm like invested in it, you know, and it's actually like personally like... That's what I think artwork is for me, and why people like come into me is because I have like a unique kind of perspective on like party and rave. You know, and I found that people even will come to me like clients or like leads or whatever you wanna define it as. So someone we haven't actually worked with before, and they've said, oh, we've worked with this previous designer and he does amazing work, like 3D, you know, this and that, but it just isn't, he hasn't got the perspective of rave. It's too, like, it just doesn't have
graphic
that...
designer, not enough, it's not the perfect blend of the two, maybe.
Yeah, I think there's a way that people with the skill sets they've got, they're creating it for themselves at the end of the day. That's art, you know? And if they're not the audience of rave, then it tends to feel a little bit disconnected to that audience that, you know, you're putting the artwork out to. So I think for me, being part and immersing myself in rave and attending parties, that is...
It's important.
Yeah, it is important, and that's what I enjoy. Like,
So right, where did your love for music first come from? Where did it all start? And what parties were you going to, man? Let's talk about some parties.
I think like fresh out of, like, as soon as we turned 18, like me and my friends, Cal.
And you are 25, yeah?
Yeah.
So he's 25.
Yeah, and we were attending, like, we got up to London. It was like chaos. Like in summer, like some weekends would just, you know, it'd be back to back, as in like just going to parties. And festival season was a big one for us. Like we'd go like, you know, Tobacco Docks, Eastern Electrics, went Sundown one time, which was a bit of a random one. It's not really like a random one.
Not to be confused with Sunwaves. Very different.
Yeah, very different. The very first event we ever went to actually was in Chelmsford, V Festival.
V, mate.
Yeah.
I hear so much about V Festival. I never, obviously, I was a bit young and I never went to V, but I've heard so many stories about V. Like, am I wrong in saying Justin Bieber played there one year?
I'm pretty sure,
Mate, that is fucking huge. I don't care.
I think it was like just like this really. It was commercial, wasn't it? It was not like a.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it's great. Like Justin Bieber in Chelmsford's kind of mad. Like, that's crazy. Mate, bring back V, man. Bring back V. I'm trying to see Biebs at fucking Chelmsford. Damn, son.
But we went to other parties. I think probably one of the best parties that I went to when I was younger probably was, I don't know, I couldn't even define it. Do you know, like, there's so many parties and there's so many good moments. I wanted to say like Eastern Electric, but I've already said that. Like, that was there was a moment, Jamie Jones closing, and it was just like electric. The vibes were just there.
Yeah,
So good. Yeah.
Mate, that's sick. So what's your style of music like? What makes a good party for you? You know. Is
I like a diverse.
Is it social? Because we was talking about this on the way, the social aspect of it, and obviously if you explain where you was last night and where.
We just went out to like this kind of classy record like bar. It was nice, something a little bit different, just like some nice chill kind of like. Well, it's not necessarily chill, but just some deeper kind of house playing. You know, not too, you know, unce.
It gets very unce now. Like it's hard. Like we go to a lot of events and it's like trying to say to people like, mate, you can't just pump it out early doors. Like if you're like the first 3-4 artists, like it's because you know that there has
to be that build up. Yeah, I think
mate,
I'm a big believer in that. I think.
Mate, there's nothing better than a good warm-up set. Like people don't realise that. Like the art of being if you're at the bottom of the lineup, mate, you want to be keeping it nice and slow. You want to just be getting everyone warmed up. It's just as simple as that, you know. But I'm seeing a lot more of that now, and it's hard because obviously every day, like this is my moment. But it's like this is not your moment. Your moment's coming. Like your moment's coming. You have to work your way up now. I was talking about this before as well about the shit gigs. Like, mate, if you ain't played fucking 20 shit gigs, like, you need to play them. You need to have that character building. You need to be requested fucking house every weekend. Like, that's got to be requested. Until you've had that, like, mate, I don't know. I'm going off on a tangent, but right, let's bring it back. So, talk to me a little bit about your little brother because I've followed him for a little while. Obviously, you look pretty similar, so I thought it'd be
good lad.
Yeah, he's a good lad. So talk to me about, obviously he's an up and coming videographer. He makes what would you describe him as?
My brother.
Yeah.
Like, he does, in the creative sense, he does like nostalgia, I think, is a common theme within his work of like photography or videography. He does like these kind of like it's got an interesting name, video postcards. I like that concept because it's like, you know, like almost like you'd give it to your family or whatever, but it's moving.
Yeah, that's
it's
cool.
Just a still shot. He's also done other videos where it's all like kind of looped together. I think that he likes landscape videography, more stuff that has like emotion versus raving.
That's what I was gonna say. It was like when I was flicking through his Instagram, it was like very feeling, you know, like it makes you feel something, which is crazy, you know, because obviously Freya, I look at a lot of her Instagram and it's like some of the stuff people are capturing is like magical. Like it's actually crazy what like people can envision in their head, and just small things, you know, because you obviously you don't think about that as just a normal guy, but like what their vision is it's cool, man. I like it. I'm not even giving you questions, I'm just talking at you. I'm just like, this is cool, that is cool. Oh mate. Well, mate, I'll be honest, I'm pretty happy, man. I'm pretty happy. Yeah, man, I'm pretty cool.
So, what's your plans for Househeads in the up and coming year?
Here we go.
For this year, then.
He's questioning me. I was not prepared, mate.
The interviewee becomes the interviewer.
Mate, I think, to be honest, we did a private party not too long ago, and it was really fun. It was good, and I think I'm trying to just obviously we do a lot of content and stuff, and like I was talking to someone about this today, trying to like. Eventually, I'm going to have to steer away from this content and start going more like musical and start releasing more like music and musical content, you know, because we've just been covering like a lot of the culture around it, which was kind of what we was.
A big part of it, though,
really. I mean, and no one's really doing it.
That's what I was going to say,
Now it's getting a bit more like I've seen quite a few podcasts pop up. I don't know if you've seen that, Bake Sessions.
No, I'm not sure.
With do you know like Mad Again? You know the journey. So like they've done I think Mad Again filmed one. I know. James Lavelle and Tom film one as well, so that's more like they film a mix and then they'll do like a podcast after something. But it's but more people are doing that now, you know. More people are trying to cover the culture because it's like a massive thing around it, you know. The culture is huge, but I think to go back to your question. I think maybe just some more private parties, just trying to build a little fan base really, and just have some so that when we do eventually put on a big party and start getting some good lineups together, we can sell some tickets, you know, because we were talking about this earlier. The last thing I hate selling tickets, you know. It's like my life's pretty hectic at the moment, you know, with obviously the business and everything else that goes on just on my day to day, you know. So it's like I just kind of want to play music and not have to deal with the fucking stress of it.
Yeah,
You know, so
it is risky. Like I think events is like, I think people don't give it enough credit, to be honest, because it is like stress. You know, I think
especially
the whole
if you,
planning, the
if
whole
you don't
risk
have that
of it
big
as
team as well. Like if you
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
got the big team, you know, for people that are just starting up, yeah, sorry, carry on.
Well, yeah, as you said, yeah. I think like we've put on even parties, like myself and a few friends, and like some events, you know, have done extremely well, and then other events we've made a loss in it. It is it's always good to throw a party, you know. That's what it's all about, the energy. But I think when the business aspect comes into it, it just creates this stress that makes you sometimes not want to put on a party.
Yeah.
You know, just because, you know, you avoid it entirely. And that's what it's not. That's what it's not about. You know, it is about bringing people together. You know, your friends are friends.
Yeah.
I think that's what it always was for us. Like, we did like some pub nights prior to starting
Pub nights
up.
are sick. I don't care what anyone. Pub nights are sick.
And they just used to go off. Like everyone would just come down. It would be like a free event, and we would just, or we'd do like an occasion of a night. So it'd be like Christmas Eve or I don't know, like Easter or something like that. And they were always the best because, you know, they're free. Everyone from the local area comes down, and that's what we kind of do now, but just in a ticketed, you know, kind of aspect. Yeah.
It's funny every time like, on these podcasts. It's so funny because like it gets to the end of like one conversation, we both just look at each other like,
What now?
what now? No, do you know? I was following on from that. I think this is why we like doing the private party, because it was someone sort of just kind of right. We'll give you a little chunk. Bring all your setup. Bring your stuff down. Do what you like, sort of thing. Play some good music, and as well, it's like the crowd that was there. It's like the guy and all his friends, which is like pretty chill, you know, like that's what you want. You want like a really nice chilled environment, and that's what it was last time. When we done that, it was so like it was just so much fun, you know. Like I just want to try and keep it fun.
Yeah.
If I can keep it fun, then I think it'll be all right. But the moment it starts becoming too much work, like even with just trying to stop putting pressure on stuff, maybe, and just letting it happen, because hopefully it will, you know. But even if it don't, you got to enjoy the process, you know. So
yeah.
Anything else you want to cover, bro?
I'm not too sure, to be fair. We can keep the conversation open and see where it leads.
Yeah, mate. To be fair, it's just one of them. I even with these, I don't know whether to go like too informative or too, because it's like gets to.
Yeah, I think the best way to do it. This is another point. I think someone said to me, like one of my clients, about like video content, and we were discussing how, you know, like we are now, you know, having an interview-esque, but it's more of a conversation, right? They were going to do some like social media posts where they had the question come up, and then they followed with like the artist, you know, answering that question. And I think for me, like that, I'm not gonna lie, like that does like kind of turn me off a little bit unless I'm engaged in the conversation. When it feels like more of a like a full-on interview, I can see the question. You know, now they're reciting something. It just feels less like I feel like the best. I saw good content from BU, I think it was, and they were interviewing Tristan da Cunha, I'm pretty sure. But it wasn't. He didn't even. They cut the questions out. So all it was Tristan answering the questions. But it was like he was just telling the audience. Remove the question and you create a conversation, and and it was way more engaging, I thought, than just like, you know, seeing that question pop up. My brain instantly turns off.
Because you know it's content straight away. It's like, this is false content, you know. It's like
just felt more like, we'll go back to that word, like organic. It's like natural. It just felt good. It felt good.
No, you're right, man. You're right. It's hard because, like, mate, at the end of the day, it's a podcast. Like, there will be like moments of silence, but it's hard when you watch. Like, I watch a lot of I listen to a lot of podcasts on Spotify, and it's like I'm looking at Joe Rogan, who's done this shit for years, and he's just like literally just pops up on the podcast with a cigar, and he's like, "How you doing, man?" It's so casual, you know. And it's like it's hard, man. It's hard, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I feel like, to be fair, if anyone has watched all four, this has definitely been the best conversation that we've had. So
really,
100. Do you not think it definitely has, isn't it? And I don't think I'm just fucking. Just raw dogging it, mate. You know what I mean? Just straight up, just no questions, nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty decent, mate.
We keep it real, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Podcast, we don't fake anything.
Yeah, we try and leave as much in as we can.
Yeah.
We might even leave that start bit in, you know.
I think that's the best way to do it, isn't it? It's like chaotic, but like in a good way.
Yeah.
You know,
We
yeah.
are chaotic.
Do you know what? If we like, we need like another person on the days, because obviously Freya's always helping me. So like, we need like another person to just follow us around with a camera as well, mate. Honestly, it's so funny, mate. The amount of times we go, oh, I forgot this, I forgot that.
Yeah.
Right, back there, back here. It's like, it's chaos, mate. Yeah, but that's life now at the moment for me. I'm just trying to learn to live in chaos.
Yeah.
So what is your skip like talking about chaos, yeah? Because obviously, like my time is so limited at the moment. I'm just trying to like, find out what everyone else does to like try and live like a normal life.
Like
Yeah, just general life advice, bro. I'm after some life advice, man.
I think every day is different, you know, like in the sense of like work, but obviously routine is essential.
Yeah.
So pretty much what I do is like get up, you know, stick your breakfast on.
Yeah.
Porridge every day. Yeah,
Coffee.
nice bit of specialty coffee as well.
Yeah.
And then
he looks like a specialty coffee guy. He just does. He just does, mate.
and then
And he surfs as well. Just gonna
yeah.
throw that one in there. If you couldn't tell, he surfs. So.
And then I'll I literally just pretty much get working straight away. It's probably be like 8, 9 a.m, something like that. And then I'll probably take a little break, eat my breakfast after it's been cooking, go straight back to work after that. Lunch, you know, in the day. Then go gym. Gym is probably like the only thing I routinely do. That's like something that I look forward to each day, you know.
Yeah.
I wanted to try and do it in the morning. I don't know if you...
Oh, don't.
Don't know.
It's not. You need that. You need that food behind you, you know, throughout the day. Yeah, I was gonna say because I was pretty surprised. Yeah, obviously random off topic, but mate, you was pretty diced from that photo, I'd say, which you would never, would never really know, you know, because like if you're like a slimmer sort of build, I was like, yeah, you don't realise, mate.
Yeah.
Like, you take the shirt off, his fucking man's is.
I definitely like
it's
locked
cut.
in there during summer. Like I remember, like I turned up to I went down a pub. Like, I hadn't been out for ages. Must have been like 3-4 months, and then one of my mates, like Nathan, he was like, "What? You know, what the hell? Like you are like."
Superman.
Yeah. Like you look big, and before,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I still am. You know, I'm lean, I'm skinny. Oh, I'm the slimmer build.
Slimmer build. Yeah,
but I was
yeah.
always the skinny kid, so it's. I think that was always the one thing for me that just like kind of grounded me. I was just tired of, you know, being that smaller guy.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
thought, oh, you know, you keep consistent, you know, keep your calories up. It's inevitable. It's science.
Science-based lifting, mate. Big up Jeff Nippard. Do you know Jeff Nippard?
No.
Nah, you don't want to, mate. You don't want to. Oh, mate. Right, Arch. I'm happy to leave it there if you are, bro.
Yeah.
What time are you on, babe? 33 minutes, perfect. That's just on
lovely
cue for
stuff.
us. Right, listen, look, we'll,
Pleasure, mate.
bro,
Cheers for
either
having me
way,
on.
there is always space for round 2, mate, so don't worry. We'll have you back in a few years when he's doing fucking the Househeads post.
Yeah.
Nah, listen, either way, man, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
I will link his stuff below. Seriously, this guy is sick at artwork. He is very good for... He's this guy's sick at artwork. Anyone wants his services, drop him a message at...
Artwork by Archie.
Artwork by Archie, not Archie Riddle Design. Artwork by Archie, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's what you say, but
yeah, Archie Riddle Design, I've got him. That's right. No worries,
Don't take it,
people.
leaves me.
Yeah, so adios, people. See you later. Mate, that was sick.